So I came to Varanasi in 1981. I came looking for music, to understand the music. And Varanasi at that time had many musicians, and I was particularly interested in discovering the power of sound and the traditions of India. To me, Varanasi holds all those ancient traditions. It hasn't lost touch with those ancient traditions. It has been carrying on for thousands of years, holding those precious jewels that belong to India, this great wisdom. And I came in my total ignorance to try and grasp some of these wisdoms. And at first I was overwhelmed by Varanasi. I found it far too busy, but gradually very soon I became to love it deeply. And the Ganga at that time, it was like swimming in silk. It was so pure. When you swam, you just felt the softness of the water. And every day I lived in Nagwa, opposite an orange marigold field, and so every morning I would walk through those fields and cover myself in matti and dry and then dive into the water. And I also loved the way that I could meet everybody, and there's a community here. And so I've been coming, it's now 1981, yeah, it's 2020 now. And so I've been, I feel like here I can live in real India. If I go to Goa or other places, they feel like they've all been packaged for the tourists, and you're siphoned off into a holiday camp full of all the things that tourists supposedly like. And I suppose I've also found it hard to accept India changing for the tourist. I don't really like India changing. I don't really want them to change to Western lavatories or to provide me with Coca-Cola. I want to experience India as in its true self. And here I feel I have an opportunity to mix with people here and and there are many great people to learn from. So I'm here as an endless student, just like in olden times. People always used to come to Varanasi to study. It was traditional to send your son off to study Sanskrit in Varanasi. And in some ways it hasn't changed. To me it incorporates all the ancient lines of you feel like you're, for me as a Westerner, I feel like I'm in ancient Greece, sometimes seeing a goddess like Shitali Devi on a donkey. It reminds me of ancient Greece. And I also learned in those days I learned about green awareness. So I learned about how you didn't need a toothbrush and Colgate to make a cycle of factories, plastic factories. All you needed to do is take a neem stick, and it was much healthier for you. It cleaned the whole body. Whereas this Colgate and plastic toothbrush, what is it really? You're just thrown into the Ganga. And also I learnt, I was taken over to the other side of the river and experienced a sadhu meal, of sort of like feeding the cow and then using the cow shit to make the dinner and to eat off plates and to cook all the food in clay pots in a beautiful line, and then everything, and then we ate and we gave the excess to the cow, and then we rubbed it down into the earth again. And to me that was like a beautiful cycle. No harm was given to the earth, and everything was brought back to nature. And so for me as a Westerner at that time, also there was a great system of recycling. Everything was recycled at that time. And it's only the plastic that seems to have caused a problem in the cycle of recycling here. Because everything, washing my hair in soap nuts, and I felt like I had a glimpse of how one could live with nature in Varanasi. And it's also, I feel a sense of joy here. It's as if joy comes out of the land. It's bright, and there's so much music here and so many marvelous traditions practiced here. And in a way, I'm not interested in visiting India that is modern, just as I'm not really interested in spending much time in modern UK with cars and car jams and service stations and supermarkets. I find that there's something dead about it all. So every morning I open my windows to find the beautiful sun rising from on the other side, and all the reflections of the sun rising into the water, rippling in the water. And it gives me a feel of elevation and remembering my joy of being alive, really. And and I love to see all the birds and the eagles and all of nature singing the joy of being alive. And in a way, that's what Varanasi helps me connect with. It's my joy to be alive. So what I also love is that you come out onto the Ghats, and then you immediately meet someone, and an adventure starts. And you find that there are all these pilgrims and they all want to dance with you. And then there's another man who gives you a gift and walks with you, telling you all about the beauty of Shiva. And then you meet the Khanwala and you have your ears cleaned. And then you meet, and it's just like an endless series of adventures, and you never know what's going to happen next. And that gives me so much joy. Whereas for me, it's where one lives with nature and lives in cycles and honours the cycles of nature. There for me I get a chance, a rare opportunity as a Westerner to feel that relationship with nature and God and the divine beyond. And so thank you, India, for letting me be here. Thank you.